All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. Hopefully you're having a good day. We've got a 7-game NBA slate. I'm going to give you plays that I like today, and then I'm also going to throw in some college games as well. So let's get into this 7-game slate. Yesterday was the National Blowout Association. For the most part, some pretty bad games. And yeah, that was fun. All right, let's get into the card. Mavericks and the Pistons. We see the Pistons getting points at home against the Mavs. Too good to pass up, in my opinion. I would lean Pistons plus 1.5 with a strong lean towards the over 229.5 in this contest. Wouldn't mind a Pistons team total over as well. Next game, Clippers and the Hornets. We see Clippers minus 13.5. I think that's pretty fair. I would have a slight lean towards the Hornets plus 13.5. It's just a lot of points to give. That said, Hornets have some injuries. No Mark Williams, no Ball, so I wouldn't be comfortable taking a spread on either of these. I mean, it's a pretty crap fest there. Definitely has super high blowout potential, so not a lot of plays I like in this one. I lean maybe towards Miles Bridges under 7.5 rebounds. Over under of 211.5. I would say that's pretty much an average spread, so I wouldn't mind taking the over in this game. Next game, Nuggets and the 76ers. We see the Nugs on the road, minus 9.5 point favorites. Makes sense. No Andre Drummond, no Joel Embiid. I think I saw a stat that dude's played in like 825 games as a pro, and he's missed 400. So that's insane. To make 230 million or whatever it is. In this contest, can't trust the 76ers. I know they're at home. Nuggets are just so much better. I would lean Nuggets minus 9.5, but again, just too big of a spread that I don't want to take. Over under of 233.5. That's pretty high. Almost makes me want to actually lean towards the over. I feel like this is a game the Nuggets are going to get down on. There are certain games you get up for, and the Nuggets are definitely one of those teams. It just feels like this could be a spot for the 76ers, honestly. It's like one where Jokic, if you look at his rebound lines, he just hasn't been rebounding. He's had ridiculously low rebound numbers for a center. That said, his triple-double's like minus 110 today. So there's that. Just a bad game. Horribly bad game. If you can get Tyrese Maxey over 6.5 assists, I think that's a good spot. It's 7.5 on most. I'm not quite there yet, and I don't want to pay the juice for 7 assists. All right, next game, Bulls and the Raptors. We see Bulls getting 3.5. Raptors at home. They've just been a really good team. That said, Emmanuel Quickley's coming back, and I don't like the way this team looks with Quickley in the lineup. They just look different. I think Kelly Olynyk's obviously still out. They've got a few guys that are going to be out, so I would lean Bulls plus 3.5. Like I said, just a different team with Quickley in there. They just don't flow as well. I just don't like it. So give me the Bulls plus 3.5. Over under of 233.5. It's high for a Raptors game. I would say low for a Bulls game. So I really don't want to touch the over-under. Slight lean towards the over 233.5. Next game, Bucks and the Spurs. We see the Bucks minus 2.5 on the road to the Spurs. I can get on board with this. Bucks minus 2.5 feels pretty good. So I like that line. Over-under of 233.5. Very appropriately placed in my opinion. I would have a slight, and I mean slight lean towards that under 233.5. Spurs team total under. Celtics and the Pelicans. We see the Celtics minus 10.5 on the road against the Pelicans. Lean Pelicans plus 10.5. But again, just not a game I love. I do love Zion over 6.5 rebounds. We have definitely seen Fords be able to get some rebounds against the Celtics team. Over under of 231.5. I would lean over. Strong lean towards the over in that game. And then our final game, Suns and the Warriors. We see the Suns minus 1.5 against the Warriors. I like the spot. I like Suns minus 1.5. I think that they should be able to get the dub here. Over under of 228.5 is pretty low. So strong lean towards that over 228.5. Suns team total over. All right, let's get into our plays, get you guys on your way. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't yet, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And join the Discord. It's absolutely free. A link is in the description. First play of the day is going to be Kristaps Porzingis over 26.5 points plus rebounds, minus 130 on bet 365. He's over this in 4 straight versus the Pelicans. He's absolutely crushed them. Pelicans give up the most rebounds to the center position. So if you don't want to mess around with his points, I feel okay about over 7.5 rebounds. I think he should just be able to feast underneath getting points. So that's why I included that. Zion Williamson over 6.5 rebounds. The Celtics don't give up a lot of rebounds to the center position. That said, the center really, Yves Missy hasn't really been getting rebounds. So I like Zion in this spot. I wanted to take his over RAs, but his assist line's at 4.5, and I just can't get behind that. If anything, I would lean towards the under at minus 130 on DraftKings, but I do like this spot for him to get boards. Only issue is he's got the minutes restriction. Blowout potential's high, but I like this over. Jalen Duren, double-double. So he's had 10 or more points in 9 straight games. Dallas is 19th in points to the center position, so it's a good spot for him. And then in terms of rebounds, they are 18th in rebounds to the center position. His rebound line is 11.5 today, so it's pretty high. We just need him to keep getting the 10 points, which I think he will. The only issue is, will he get in foul trouble, right? He's a big guy. Gafford's a big guy. They're going to be going at it. The only way this bet gets screwed is foul trouble, which this guy's an idiot when it comes to fouling people. So there is some hesitance there, but minus 110 is good value. Next play is going to be Chris Paul over 7.5 assists. Bucks have been giving up a lot of assists. 7 of the last point guards have gone over their assist line versus Milwaukee. He had 7, so he would have hooked this in the last game they played on January 8th, but he had 18 potential assists that game, and he's averaging 18 potential assists in his last 5 games against Milwaukee. So the potentials are there. We just need him to come through. Not a great spot for Wemby to score, but I do think Wemby's going to get his. And then last play on the card is going to be Lonzo Ball under 9.5 points. He's only hit this line in 1 of 10 games versus Toronto. He's over this line in 4 of his last 10. Now, how's he getting those points? It's 3-pointers. He's averaging 7 shots a game in his last 10 games. 6 of those are threes. So this guy's only taking 3-point shots. His 3-point prop today is 2.5. Extremely heavily favored to go under that. So if he's heavily favored to go under 3 threes, he's not going to get his 10 points. So I like this spot. That said, conversely, great matchup to score. Toronto gives up a lot of points to the point guard position. So point guard, shooting guard position, they do give up points. There's your angle on that, but I like him to go under today. A couple of leans I had in that. Vucevic, rebound lines at 10.5. Same with Jakob Poeltl. I think they both go under, to be honest with you. So I didn't put him on the card, but I would say Jakob under 10.5 rebounds is good plays. Under that in 6 straight games. Now that said, Chicago does tend to give up a lot of rebounds, and it's usually a high-scoring game. So taking unders, a little risky in Bulls games, but I just think this spot's too good for Lonzo. He's playing like 22, 23 minutes a game, so good spot there. Like I said, leans I had today, Miles Bridges under 7.5 rebounds, and Zion Williamson under 4.5 assists were 2 leans that I had that didn't make the card today. Another one was Harrison Barnes over 3.5 rebounds for the Spurs. That was another lean. College basketball. Let's get into the MAC. We're going to start with the MAC. Akron, I like them +2 versus Kent State on the road at Kent State. St. Peter's -1 versus Rider. Now, I'm kind of bucking the trend here. Usually when you do college, you kind of want to lay off the road teams historically. That said, all of these are road teams. So know that going in. But St. Peter's -1 versus Rider. Probably my favorite play here. I do like this spot for them. I think they win by 3 or 4. And then give me Fairfield +12.5 versus Quinnipiac. It's just too much in my opinion. I think they probably lose by 9, right? 8 or 9, somewhere in there. And then last play I like, Indiana. Give me +12 versus Purdue. It's just a lot against a Purdue team that, frankly, hasn't looked overly strong in my opinion. I mean, we just saw them get beat by Ohio State last week. So I think this is a good spot for Indiana. If you don't want to take the Indiana +12, I do like the over in that game, but plus 12 against two top 20 teams, that's just too much in my opinion. So those are my plays for today. Like I said, appreciate you guys tuning in. Give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord. Come be a part of that community, which is fantastic. And I'll catch you guys in the next video tomorrow.